This video is brought to you by Dr. Kristen R. Bromley's Guitar Method Book Series and Online Music Academy.
Hi, I'm Dr. Kristen Bromley. Welcome to my online academy. It's my pleasure to be here helping you with playing the guitar. In this video, I'm going to go over dominant 7th chords that have a sharp 11th added to them. So dominant 7 sharp 11 chords. Sounds like a big mouthful. Got a couple voicings up here on the board that I'll go over. These are great ways to play this type of chord on the guitar. And of course, we'll jam together on a chord progression that will allow us to practice these voicings in all 12 keys. We'll do that right along with bass and drums accompaniment, so it's going to be great. This video accompanies lesson 25 from my Chords and Harmony Books 1 and 2 method book. In the book, we'll start on page 173 as I explain these types of chords. We'll look at 173 and 174. You'll also see voicings there on page 175. And then we're going to jam together on chord progression number 2 found on page 146. So those are the pages we're using. Let's talk about dominant 7th sharp 11 chords. We've been learning lately in the lesson series about major 7th chords that have the sharp 11 or the 13th, and I really should say and or. And we've learned before about adding the 9th. So we got this 9th, sharp 11th, and 13th that can be added to major types of chords, major 7th chords specifically. So here we are now with dominant 7th chords. We can do the same thing. So a dominant 7th sharp 11 chord has the root, the 3rd, the 5th, and the flatted 7th. Though the 5th may likely be omitted as we just don't have enough strings and enough fingers to accommodate playing all the pitches when we start adding lots of extra colors. But it could have the root, it has to have the root in the 3rd, it could have the 5th, it's got to have the flatted 7th. Then it could also have the 9th, and for sure it's going to have the sharp 11. So I've got to omit the 5th here, but if I played that as a voicing, I have a dominant 7th sharp 11 chord. So kind of an interesting, cool sound, really kind of has some pretty tension in it. It's great for playing jazz music. So that's what that chord is. And with the chord symbol, as you'll see on page 174, some examples. With this chord symbol, we're going to see C7 and then sharp 11, the pound sign 11 or plus 11. That's going to tell us to add that sharp 11. When we see the 11th there, it implies the 9th could also be added if we want it to be added. Doesn't have to be, but it can be. Sometimes when we're playing music, the chord symbols will be written at just the 7th level. So we just see C7. But if we wanted to add that sharp 11 color, we could choose to do so. So that happens a lot of times with like jazz lead sheets, for example. In those contexts, a lot of times the chords are written at just the basic 7th level, letting the player decide what colors they want to add to those chords at what time. So beware of that. You don't have to see a chord symbol that demands having the sharp 11 to add the sound to the song if you want it to be there, especially when we're playing songs that use 7th chords. Okay, so let's take a look at these shapes. We've got one shape with the root on the 6th string, one shape with the root on the 5th string. Of course, whatever pitch we put those root notes on of the chord, that's the version we're going to play. So I'm going to look at the first one here in the key of C. So we're going to stick that middle finger on the C pitch that's at the 8th fret of the 6th string. And then we're going to have ring finger 2 strings higher in the same fret, pinky 1 fret higher on the 3rd string, and then index finger 1 fret lower. And when I say higher and lower, I mean in relation to the root, 1 fret lower on the 2nd string. We don't play the 5th string or the top string, and we get a dominant 7th sharp 11 voicing. This one just has the sharp 11 in there. It doesn't have the 9th, doesn't have the 5th. So kind of an interesting, cool sound. Now with the 5th string form, there's actually a couple ways we can play it. This voicing is actually the one that I demonstrated this in, the sound of this in way back when earlier in the video. So this is, if I stick that middle finger on the C that's at the 3rd fret, I can play with my index finger, 1 fret lower, top string and 4th string, and then ring and pinky fingers got to catch 2nd and 3rd strings in the same fret as the root, and I will have a nice dominant 7 sharp 11. This voicing does have the 9th. The challenge with this voicing is as you move higher on the fretboard, depending on the guitar you're playing, the frets get closer together and it can become impossible to actually catch all of those notes. When that becomes the case, then you want to take and put your index and middle fingers and then ring and pinky and leave out pinky on the 3rd string and then just mute the 2nd string, so take out the 9th. So for example, if I went up to play this with my middle finger, if I was going to play this on F at the 8th fret and I tried to finger all of that in there, it's very tricky to get it ringing, and some of them are kind of muted. So if I take and instead finger it like so, then I can get that chord happening just fine. Another option is to actually take the root out, but that only works if you're playing with a bass player who's playing the root for you. And then you can just play the top 4 notes. So sometimes, depending on where you're playing along the fretboard, you may have to adapt this sharp 11 dominant 7th chord so that it doesn't have the 9th, so that we actually get all those essential sounds happening. Now, it can be good just to go back and forth between these 2 chords. As I do that, because I'm up here high, I'm leaving off the 9th, but you can just get comfortable finding where those are at. Of course, we are going to be jamming around the circle of 4 as we play the chord progression. So we're going to play chord progression number 2 on page 146. You'll notice that it's just written with C7, F7, B flat 7, and so on, but we're going to plug in these dominant 7th chords with the sharp 11. And actually, if you wanted to practice more with these chords, you could jam along with any of the videos that were created for lesson 22, especially the ones for the movable chords. You could jam along and insert these voicings in place of just playing a normal dominant 7th chord, the chord that we learned how to play there in lesson 22. So that would give you an option to practice more with it. But we're going to play this progression. We're going to do it 3 times, 3 tempos. A slower tempo, sort of a medium, and then a little bit more up. And we'll work our way around. So if you need to, you can just practice finding your way between these chords, going one at a time, then down to B flat, then down to E flat, and so on and so forth. So it's going to be super fun. Let's go ahead and jam together on this progression. Okay, awesome. In the next video, we're going to take a look at dominant 13th chords. So that's going to be great. Take care, and I'll see you next time. Thanks for watching this video. If you found it helpful, please hit the like button and subscribe to the channel. And be sure to check out more great content. You can find more information about me and my products at KristenBromley.com. Take care.